Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back outside today. It is around 80 degrees, I think. Or at least it definitely hit 80 in the afternoon here today. So it's a beautiful day in November. So I'm back outside, which I'm happy about as long as I'm getting left alone from the mosquitoes. Today I wanted to talk about what I've learned from being in a car accident now a decade ago. I feel like a lot of times the traumatic and like scary experiences in our lives, they just tend to stand out more because they were traumatic and crazy and they're like unforgettable. But within the time that has passed, I just feel like I've learned so much. There's good, bad, and ugly that came out of it. But overall, I feel like it shifted me in a way where I just see things differently. I'll give you a very brief backstory on what happened. I was in the passenger seat. I was on vacation with my family, and we basically made a left turn in a busy intersection, and a car that was going straight hit the passenger side of our vehicle. And like I said, I was in the passenger seat, so I vividly remember seeing the headlights, and it was, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock at night already. So I just remember like blinding headlights and thinking, wow, I guess, this is it. But I was blessed to have survived that. I had a laceration in my left cheek. It was through and through. So basically, it was a cut that was through my left cheek. So it was just a moment where I felt really grateful to be alive, to have made it through, to have healed from just that. And I feel very, very lucky and blessed. With that said, though, there, like I said, has been, I guess, a lot of changes and shifts and things that I see differently because of that experience. I would say the greatest thing that I feel in my life that changed for me was that I don't really sweat the small stuff anymore. I mean, I've never really been a person to do that anyway. I believe like I didn't really dwell on things before that, but having an experience like that, it just definitely solidifies like there's no need to sweat the small stuff. There's no need to dwell. There's no time actually to worry 24/7. I just don't even have the capacity to spend my time worrying or dwelling over stuff or even stressing, over small things that ultimately don't matter. Like I used to have road rage when I was younger. Now it's like there's not many things that, while driving, there's not many things that other drivers could do. Situations where I feel like, I'd bug out over. If someone cuts me off, I'm like, whatever, cool, like, have a blessed day. um, I don't, I don't get angry anymore. I don't, like I said, I just don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. It doesn't make or break my day. Um, and yeah, I would say that is probably one of the best things that came out of it. Just knowing that in the bigger scheme of things in life, you know, if someone flips me off while driving, it's not, yeah, it might trigger me to be a little angry or like, pissed off at the moment, but it doesn't ruin my day. I don't feel like, oh wow, now my mood is thrown off because of this one thing that happened. Like I'm really able to see what really matters, and I just feel like the amount of gratitude that I have has been just multiplied. Like, I'm so grateful for waking up every morning. I feel like it would be a crime for me not to be this grateful. Um, And this is not to say that I wasn't grateful at all before. It just wasn't ever to this level. I definitely attribute it to being in the car accident. Those are things that I take away and I implement it in my life, and I just feel like are so strong because of what happened. So definitely more grateful, 100%, and not sweating the small stuff. Like it makes such a difference in my life overall, and just being in a mindset where you see the beauty in things too. Like you're grateful for a walk in nature, or you're grateful for your plants growing, or you're grateful for your dog being happy to see you after you throw out the trash. Like just the little things become bigger moments, and I feel like I just cherish them more, and I'm grateful to have them. I would say something that I guess is more on the bad slash ugly side is I had, I guess, a little bit of PTSD with driving and being in a car, specifically more so when I'm like in a vehicle and I'm not driving. And this was, when it was fresh 10 years ago. This was definitely more intense for me. I still do feel the effects of it in terms of if I get into like an Uber or a Lyft and the person drives fast, it just feels like I can't really relax when I'm in a car and I'm not driving. Like I can't take a nap. I hold on to the little handle on the side sometimes when I feel like I just need, something to make me feel better. I just think that it's pretty inevitable that you're gonna be scarred from any near death experience or any traumatizing experience that you go through. It's definitely going to change your outlook and, how it feels to be in similar situations, that might trigger a reminder of what you went through. It's just part of me now. I think trying to accept it is the best thing you can do, as part of your reality. In the beginning, I was like, kind of resisting the fact that I was terrified to be in a vehicle again. And I'm like, I can't avoid vehicles in life, like how am I going to move past this and not be afraid? And when am I going to get over this? And all these questions that would spiral because that was not part of my reality. And I didn't know how to adjust and now be this person who's like very cautious in cars and like looking every which way and like being this anxious, nervous thing when I'm in vehicles. I think over time, with patience with yourself, you learn how to not only accept it, but how to navigate life with it. And best case scenario, you learn how to be okay with not being okay. And that's a really tough thing to do in many, many situations. But particularly when you've gone through a near death experience or a traumatizing event, like it just makes you very uneasy and it's very difficult. But hopefully, with time, you get to a point where it's just like, okay, I'm a little scared of getting in this car right now because I'm not driving and I don't have that little bit of control. It's like with enough exposure and getting in a car and then being okay and getting somewhere safely, like it just over time just reassures that, there's always a chance, of course, that something bad might happen, but there's also a pretty good chance that you're going to be okay too. And just knowing that and learning to accept it is something that I think I managed to do over time. And I hope that, if you're going through anything similar, if you've been in a car accident or a near death experience, I hope that you get there too. Like I said, I'm sure it takes time and patience with yourself and learning how to include it kind of in your life and working through it. But be kind to yourself, have that patience and have faith that you're going to be okay. So I just wanted to share my experience with this. I feel like there are probably a lot of situations that people have been through, whether they were near death experiences or not, that, when you have trauma attached to things, it really changes the trajectory of how you might think and how you might act and how you behave in life. So I really wanted to just touch on this. Hopefully, if this helped you, I hope that you know you're not alone and things will get better. And I'm rooting for you. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm sending you lots of love and lots of light.